How's it going, guys and goddesses? This is the Akara back at you, baby. Yeah. All right, man. As this world becomes more and more bullshit by the second, you got to have answers. You got to have answers to solutions. See, I don't really like to talk about problems. You know, I like to address problems, and then focus the majority of my time thinking about the damn solution. So we're going to have to get into that type of mindset. Excuse me. Get this shit going. We're going to have to kind of get back into that kind of mindset, man, because we're going to have to solve a lot of problems. And these problems are going to escalate day by day because, you know, the government's not telling you the truth about these EBT cuts and about this welfare shit. The thing about it is, with this automation coming in, and these corporations no longer employing people, and they're using the robots, there's not going to be a taxpayer base to support welfare and Section 8 and all of that. See, you're seeing these Section 8 cuts because they're running a litmus test. It's basically like a test. They want to see how the public responds, how you motherfuckers are going to go out here and act the fool and shit. And then what they're going to do is they're going to get National Guard, get NATO, military, martial law. They're going to see what they have to do in order to combat any kind of civil unrest as a result of this automation. And they have what they call concentration camps, man. They get these old football stadiums, whatever the case is, to house millions and millions of people. So when these people become homeless and displaced and they ain't got nowhere to go, and you start acting a fool, okay, they're just going to start rounding your ass up and putting you in a concentration camp. So this is all part of the UN plan. And, you know, fortunately for me, I read UN documents, so I kind of have a heads up on what's to come. It's just you got a bunch of dumbass niggas who done got fucking comfortable and shit and they don't think ahead. They only... Well, I'm comfortable. It ain't affecting me. Hey, if it affects the next person, it's going to eventually trickle down to your ass to where it's going to affect you too. So, Amazon has just announced that, you know, they're going to cut 600,000 jobs. Now, what does that mean? A lot of people say, well, what do they got to do with me? You know, it ain't my fucking problem. No, it's your fucking problem. Especially if you're on food stamps, Social Security, Medicaid, Section 8, you know, EBT, SNAP, or whatever the fuck government programs they got out there. Oh, that's going to affect you because that's 600,000 less taxpayers paying into the system being replaced by the goddamn robot who these corporations don't have to pay. Okay, so they're just pocketing that money, man. And, you know, this whole government shutdown shit, you know, cutting SNAP benefits, you know, these Democrats are basically run by George Soros. George Soros is he's one of the he used to be a major stockholder in Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is the one, you know, Wall Street, they don't want to finance all these intelligence agencies and whatnot, and they're the ones giving all these fucked up IMF loans to third world countries. And what ends up happening is these third world countries who want to develop, who want to industrialize, they can't pay back the loan, so they end up foreclosing on the loan or whatnot. So the IMF can come in and start seizing this country's assets, so they can take over their businesses, their property, their land. So now the IMF basically got control of this government, got control of this country. They done seized all the assets. So what they do is they take the population of the people that's there, and they use these people as a weapon to bankrupt other countries. So, you know, like you started seeing the influx of third world people in Europe, third world people in America. It's because of the IMF that's basically bankrupt these people's country. And they're just taking these people, displacing them out of their country and dumping them in Europe so they can weigh on the system, all the while they automate. So they're speeding up this global reset, you know, where humanity is just going to be useless. And they want a world population of 500 million people. So the way they're doing it is they displace all these third world nations, bankrupt them, seize all these countries' minerals, resources, assets, Then they take the population, dump them off like in Europe. These people get on the system, getting welfare, getting benefits, getting free housing, all that kind of shit. So it weighs down on those taxpayers. Those taxpayers are now being replaced by automation. So your taxpayer pool is dwindling by the minute as more robots come in. So you have less taxpayers paying into these government programs, which means that the Congress in these countries or the Senate, whatever, has to, when they start appropriating money and bills, they don't have the money. And the reason why they don't have the money is because these corporations are now automating. And see, Joe Biden, that asshole, was creating federal jobs, but then again, that's taxpayer funded. So now they have to start cutting off all these federal jobs because of automation. You know, people, these corporations are not employing people, so these people who would normally be employed by these corporations can't pay taxes to keep these federal jobs afloat. So they have to cut those jobs, they have to cut the food stamps, they have to cut Social Security, everything, because there's no more, the taxpayer pool is starting to dwindle. People are not getting jobs, which leads to homelessness. And now, once it gets to the point to where it's going to be a bunch of crime and shit like that, see, that gives the government license to come in and start laying down martial law. So this is what you're faced with. But like I said, you know, like I said, man, while all these motherfuckers out here in the club dropping it like it's hot, these bimbos are out here fucking taxing niggas and trying to milk you sexually, trying to destroy you sexually, take away your energy. Because see, without energy, see, that's why money is power. Power is energy. So money is energy. Money is your energy. Because they need your, for the past 2,000 years, they needed your energy to keep their system going. Now they don't need your energy. They got a robot to keep their system going. So that leaves you kicked to the motherfucking curb. Now, all these women, they done fill their head up because now these women done left, you know, they basically done kicked the man out the goddamn family. And they done got on this government system. They done got in bed with the demon. Done kicked the man to the curb. Left us, you know, the jobs that men would normally get. The way they did us in was, first of all, they got us through civil rights. Got us to give up our own businesses. And then they start, under NAFTA, they start shipping jobs overseas. So that cut the black man off. And then they start bringing the dope in, the drugs, the heroin, the crack, start bringing that in. So that became the black man's new job, selling drugs. But if we were selling to our own people, so now we killing each other off, making each other crazy, using sorcery, using the dope. So now the people caught with the drugs, they round them up and start locking them up in prison. Then they start escalating, these Democrats start escalating these laws. Well, you know, if you make babies, you got to take care of the baby and all that, knowing that they done shipped the goddamn jobs overseas. So now these men who can't find a job, who are getting felonies because they're selling the government's drugs that the federal government brought in, are now getting locked up in the prison system. So when they get out, they can't get a job. They go out, try to find a girl to hook up with to help them out. The girl's looking at, you know, have a couple babies with them and whatnot. Girl don't give a fuck. She can just get on welfare. But if this nigga get out of line, don't do what this woman say, she gonna turn around and sue his ass for child support. And what ends up happening is the brother starts getting this fucked up vicious cycle. He can't pay the child support, so he got to take his ass back to jail, and he gets used as a 23 cent an hour slave. Excuse me, I can't talk. I've been taking those electrums, and you know, I got a serious magnetic field in my mouth, man. I can't pronunciate words, and you know, I can feel it right here in my mouth, right here in my throat chakra. It's magnetism. So it's hard for me to pronunciate words, so I slur a lot. So forgive me for that. But that's because, you know, like I done built my power up, man. You know, I got some chi. I'm at the point now where I can do, you know, telekinesis, psychokinesis and all that, man, because I got so much power, man. But you know, I'm accumulating power because I need that energy to go up into my third eye, into my brain, so I can connect with the mind of the true God, so I can download, you know, solutions and whatnot. So, you know, I've disciplined myself, man, to basically no longer need sex from a woman, man. You know, it's like once I got that under control, man, my life elevated. That's why I said in the last video, master Taoist secrets of love, because you're going to need that shit. Okay? If you can recycle your body's energy, when they start cutting food and resources and things like that, you can just mix together a few electrons, a few minerals, mix it with some water, drink it, then go stare at the sun. The sun will feed you. The electricity that your body would generate through your eyes will actually feed your body. You know what I'm saying? You don't even really have to eat. So you're going to have to learn how to, if you don't have land, or if you don't have a means of producing food or getting access to food, you're going to have to use spiritual techniques to feed your body, man. And the sun is one of the best techniques ever, man. I can go, I can pretty much tell you like this. I don't really have to eat, man. I can pretty much go the rest of my days and not have to eat ever again. Okay. I just do it because I generate electricity, generate more chi force, because I'm mixing elements that can generate electricity for the body, so I can build up more chi. So, but I can, like I said, I can go out into Mother Nature. I'm getting to the point to where I'm going to figure out plants and herbs and resources and know how to mix those herbs together to generate electricity, and just take a vial of herbs, drink that, go stare at the sun. I'm good, man. I ain't even got to eat. So, a nigga like me, I'm prepared, because I knew years ago that this day was coming, because I saw what they were doing with the computers. Because see, my father used to be part of that shit. He was the one that built the first video games, table tennis, and digital watches and all that kind of shit. So my father developed a lot of that stuff, and these corporations stole his ideas and made the money off of it, and just they recruited him, gave him a job, and under those terms of the corporation, corporate rules, them employing him, anything he created, they owned. So, I did everything in my power to stay out of that whole circumstance, to where, my ideas, you can't capitalize on that shit. So, now I'm going for the throat, man. I got that free energy technology. I basically got it. I'm just waiting for my lab to get done, complete. My house is pretty much up and running. I got the mini splits installed, got my electricity, got my plumbing, it's a brand new goddamn house. I got a barn in my backyard. I'm going to turn that into a laboratory, and I'm going to start building crypto miners and whatnot. I done told you the whole story on this, and I'm going to be setting up organizations. But the thing about this is, when I set these organizations up, there ain't going to be no goddamn free ride. Okay? Women been getting a free fucking ride, and you see how they fucking disrespect you as a man. So, sisters, I want to work with you, but you're going to have to do your fair share. It's going to be 50-50. You're going to have to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. Y'all talk about y'all want to be self-reliant. Hey, fine. You're going to have that opportunity with me. You can be self-reliant all you want, but you're going to contribute to the organization. And like I said, man, we're going to build a utopia. And we're going to break down this automation and what you got to be prepared for, especially you men, you good brothers. Okay, these sisters out here been fucking, just doing nothing but fucking around. They short-sighted. They just, they out looking for cheap thrills. You know what I'm saying? Just to get their rocks off or whatever the hell it is they on. And they want to be men. They feel like men been doing that shit to them, which is a bunch of fucking bullshit. They feel like they've been getting the short end of the stick, which is a fucking bunch of bullshit. Men been doing all the goddamn work. That's why we died before a goddamn woman. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. That's all that feminist stupid shit. Okay? We're here to clean the slate. We're here to set up a utopia. And we're here to take this earth over block by block. And we're going to continue. But you must be aware of the problem. And once you know the problem, then we can come up with solutions. Okay? We shall continue. Okay, see right here, it tells you what corporations are using automation warehouses. Okay, Amazon unveils new tech. Okay, inside Walmart's automated world's most advanced robotics. This company is automating all 47. China's fully automated. Amazon unveils new tech for automation inside Amazon smart warehouse. Okay, the robots are coming, replacing people. Replacing taxpayers with robots. So now you got a bunch of people ain't got a job, can't pay taxes. which means all this federal funding, man, for food stamps and EBT cards and Social Security and Section 8 and, you know, Medicaid, Medicare, whatever the fuck they got going on out here. Every year is going to be less and less money to finance these programs, which means there's going to be more and more, you know, as they automate, there's going to be more and more people needing these programs and less people paying into the program. So you're going to have all these people vying for limited resources due to less and less taxpayers paying into the system because the robots coming in to take your ass over, man. We're going to get into this. Okay, this is what Amazon is doing, man. Here we go.
Robots could only replace part of a human job, enough to make coffee or an omelet. But this is Digit, a robot its makers say is ready to do what human warehouse workers do.
It can lift about 35 pounds. You know, the robot weighs about what a person would weigh. It can reach about the size of what a person can reach. You know, we're really going for that kind of like OSHA regulations and requirements for the robot.
Agility Robotics is funded in part by Amazon, which is investing $1 billion in new industrial technologies. Amazon has already started testing Digit in its Seattle Robotics Research and Development Facility, potentially adding to the company's fleet of more than 750,000 robots. And the company's investors have big ambitions for them.
The fact that it can enter places that were designed for humans and solve those challenges that exist without having to rebuild the environment for automation.
And it doesn't quit.
They're about $250,000, so they're not inexpensive. But, you know, over just a few years, they're worth it.
As of 2022, Amazon employed about 36% of warehouse workers in the U.S., a workforce that often complains about the injury risk of working to get packages to customers in 2 days or less, according to OSHA. Amazon says the safety of its employees is its top priority.
I just really feel this is...
So they come up with some bullshit. The safety of his employees is his top priority, but yet, so their answer to safety is, oh, we're just not going to hire you for the job. It's going to just replace you with the goddamn robot. So how safe are you if you can't pay your bills, can't make a living? How safe are you then? You're out on the streets. You're homeless. How safe are you then? And you talking about a warehouse being safe? How safe is a man, his woman, and his kids sleeping on the goddamn street corner? How safe is that, Amazon? All right, here we go.
Amazon's attempt to focus their attention away from those of us that have been injured and are fighting to get medical care and fair wages and safer working conditions. I wish they would spend their money in just making it a safer place to work for the rest of us, you know, those of us that need jobs and need a paycheck, you know, rather than coming up with technology that could push some of us out the door.
Digit company.
Lady, they're pushing everybody out the door. They don't need you. You are now useless. So my question to all you feminists out there, man, you know, that you don't need a man, that shit's about to get put to the test. When you out here on the streets, ain't got a man, and you got to fend for yourself, you up here talking about the bear or the man, you going to take the bear? Okay, well, you going to have to deal with that goddamn bear. Okay, when you out here on the streets with you trying to fend for your children, okay, and you up here talking about you don't need a man, that shit is about to get put to the test. All right, because they done all these programs you're relying on, Section 8, welfare, food stamps, all that shit you relying on to take care of your independent ass and your quote unquote independent ass and your children that you made with random ass niggas. Okay, those programs are going to get cut. And the reason why those programs are getting cut is because the robots are coming in. These companies are pushing human labor out, replacing it with robots. That means there are no more humans receiving a check to pay into these government programs. So that means your welfare benefits, Miss Independent Queen. I'm an independent, strong, independent woman. That means those benefits you were receiving, sitting on your ass, doing nothing, laying around with random niggas, running in clubs, wasting money, not preparing for the future, not thinking, just making babies, not because you love the child, because they making money for you because you get more government resource, you get more government money for having babies. So this ain't about you trying to be a decent human being, wanting to have children and shit. Those children you just use to make money for yourself. And then you teaching your kids to be a parasite just like you are. Okay, you women have become scum of the earth, man. You talk about the men, you brides are no different. So what you gonna do about it now that you're gonna get cut off all these welfare programs, all these food stamps, all this free housing? What you gonna do then? Miss, I'm independent, I don't need a man. When you out here on the streets with your children, how you gonna give the children a house? How you gonna build that house? How you gonna pour that, create that foundation? How you gonna pour that concrete? How you gonna put a roof on that house? How you gonna dig a trench for the plumbing? How you gonna do that, Miss Independent Queen? How you gonna do that and take care of your kids? Because that shit's about to get put to the test, man. Since you don't need a man. All right, we're gonna continue. See, fellas, this is why you don't take in these random ass broads. Make them stand on their own 2 feet. Okay, because you know they get a free ride, man, and they haven't learned how to stand on 2 feet. They haven't learned respect. They haven't learned, you know, what it actually takes to survive in this world. You know, they just throwing some makeup, stick their ass out, and you know, there's a bunch of niggas that will provide for them, and you know, you just on their roster. See, they just using you to provide for them. You know, you just their payroll. It's just a numbers game. You see, this is how these women are, man. Let's get to it. If I can get to it here. Here we go.
Yes, you've been raising him for 3 years.
Yeah, I've been raising him, and you know that was somebody else's child.
All right.
There you go.
During a time that we had a break, it was one time.
One time.
All right. We were going through stuff, and that's it.
Oh, okay, one
So
time.
I didn't think anything.
You just don't have to raise somebody else's kid. So
One time.
Modern women will never understand this. There is no
See, this woman talking about one time she lay with, she lying. She was more than one time. She was cheating on the dude the whole time he was with her. Going out here making babies with random ass niggas and then sticking this dude with the goddamn bill. This is what they're gonna do to you. Okay? Because they don't respect you. Okay? They didn't have to work for shit. So they don't respect it. So quit handing them shit. They go out here, fuck around, lay with all these random ass niggas, make all these babies. Okay? Make them responsible to take care of their own kids. They claim to be strong and independent. They talk all that shit. But at the end of the day, they keep running back to some motherfucker, and then they're going to make a victim out of you, have you raise some other nigga's kids that she done laid up with, fucked around with, got pregnant by, and then say you're the father because you got a job. See, this is how they're going to do you. So make them stand on their own 2 feet, man. And that's how you end this shit. Okay, because then they're going to have to think, you know. But, you know, hey, I want a woman to show her true colors, man. Hey, this is how you are. Okay. I just want to know that so I can keep clear of your fucking ass and I deal with you. And if all you women are that way, fine. I'll just become a Taoist master, man. And then as these robots come in, okay, and start cutting off your financial base because there ain't gonna no more taxpayers paying into these welfare programs. Okay, that means you're gonna have to get off your ass, woman, and fend for yourself. And you done took the burden off me because I see what type of woman you are. And I'm not gonna feel sorry for you because you didn't give a fuck when you go out here and slept around with some other nigga and got pregnant and then dumped the responsibility on some dude, you know what I'm saying, trying to be right by you, but you just milking him out of his money. Okay, so now when you out here on the streets, okay, and you done turn all these good men cold, okay, because you cold, now they're going to be cold towards you. Okay, stand on your own 2 feet, be that strong, independent queen, okay, learn how to fend for yourself, you know what I'm saying, learn how, hey, protect those kids, you know, stand on your own 2 feet, man, and stop relying on us men. Don't start relying on us under those terms and conditions. Get up off your ass and figure it out for yourself, okay, because when we was there to protect you and do all those other shit, okay, you want to go run off with some random ass nigga that didn't give a fuck about you. And now you want men that would give a fuck about you. You just fuck them over. See? And now these men that you just fucking over, don't run to them now, man, when your benefits and all that shit get cut because the robots coming in. Because see, these men, now they got to fend for themselves. They got to keep themselves up afloat. And you're a liability. You and your 9 kids and you needing your hair done, nails, all that bullshit. See, now you're a liability. Because you're just coming over to suck off the dude. You're not coming over to add to the pot. You're not adding anything. You don't do shit. So I hate to say it, man. The first people that's going to get cut off this system is going to be women, man. So, you know, I mean, y'all are going to be the first. See, when they talk about useless people, they talking about you women first. Then they gonna go after us men. You done basically kicked your support system out because you went and wanted to leech off the goddamn government and the taxpayer. All because you don't want to be held accountable for nothing. But since you want to be that way, that's fine. Hey, man, have at it. Because when the shit hits the fan, okay, ain't none of us good brothers going to be around to pick you up. We're going to remind you. You're an independent woman and you don't need a man. We're going to hold you to that. Okay, we shall continue. See, as he tell you right here, Amazon wants to replace hundreds of thousands of workers with robots. That's hundreds of thousands of people not paying into the tax system, lady, Miss Independent Queen. All that money that these people make working these jobs are no longer going to be around because Amazon's replacing them with robots. So all that money that was being earned by the workers, by the employees, portion of that money goes into income tax, goes into tax for the federal government, and that's what supplements all your welfare, all your Section 8. Okay, guess what? Those taxpayers are being replaced by robots. Got that Miss Independent Queen? I'm independent, don't need a man. See where this is going? All right, hold on. Okay, Amazon could soon be replacing workers with robots. Okay, the country's second largest employer is reportedly gearing up for its biggest workplace shift yet, one that could replace more than 500,000 U.S. jobs over the next decade. According to the New York Times, they're going to increment this. Okay, by 2030, they're going to have that full global reset. Okay, hold on. According to the New York Times, internal strategy documents show Amazon believes automation could let it avoid hiring 600,000 workers by 2033, even as sales are expected to double. Okay, the company's robotics team reportedly wants to automate about 75% of operations, which could help Amazon roughly $12.5 billion over 2 years. So Amazon's going to save $12.5 billion over 2 years. $12.5 billion. A portion of that's going to go to income tax. To income tax, which goes to supplement all these welfare benefits that you independent queens have been leeching off of. So, when that shit gets cut, okay, that I'm a strong, independent Woman, I don't need a man. Okay, don't start cooperating with us now, man. Okay, just don't do it, lady. Keep your word to yourself. Stand on your own 2 feet. Okay? Be strong. Be that strong, independent queen. Stand on your own 2 feet. And don't rely on us. Okay? Because we're going to remind you. You're strong and independent. All right? Here we go. So here we go. The Times says Amazon is even strategizing how to control the narrative in communities that might lose jobs, focusing on technician roles and local outreach. Amazon disputes the report, saying the documents don't reflect its overall hiring strategy and that it still plans to hire 250,000 workers this holiday season. But experts warn if these plans move forward, one of America's biggest job creators could soon become one of its biggest job replacers. Man, we already know where it's going, bro. Okay, you guys ain't doing this AI, putting this shit out there unless you plan on using the shit. So, you can come up with all the narratives you want, man. Only a fool gonna believe anything you say, man. Okay, here we go. Okay, here it is right here, man.
Amazon is pushing forward with a plan to use robots to do 600,000 jobs that humans would normally do. The New York Times, citing leaked documents, reports Amazon will automate 75% of its operations within several years. Amazon estimates automation will help it save more than $12 billion and shave 30 cents off each item it ships. Amazon stressed it still plans to hire 250,000 workers for the holiday season.
600,000 workers are going to be laid off at Amazon. Now, they haven't begun this layoff just of yet, but are we seriously talking about laying this many people off at just one company? This is ridiculous. And we didn't even see a layoff like this at the federal government level with Trump and laying off with the government shutdown. This is, guys, I don't even know what to say. And I'm going to tell you guys this at the end of the day. All these companies that's sitting back, and there's going to be another pioneer series of other companies following Amazon, because y'all remember the first wave of layoffs when Microsoft started the wave, and then all these other companies were just like a chain reaction, like a domino effect. And guess what? There's going to be more companies. It's not just going to be Amazon, but 600,000 people are going to be without a job. Let's dig a little bit deeper into this, guys, so we can really get the gist of what is happening in this situation. I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. This layoff right here, it's not going to be all at once. They're not going to, come out and, all 600,000 of you guys are going to be gone right now as we speak. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a slow burn over time, probably over the next 2 years. But check this out. All right. So they're saying they're laying off 600,000 jobs that would otherwise hire humans, more than 500,000 by 2033. So pretty much we got another 8 years of, people having jobs. So I don't know. I mean,
Hey, man, they said 2030. Klaus Schwab at the WEF said by the year 2030, the Great Reset. It's going to be a global Great Reset. This shit ain't just happening here in the United States. It's happening all over the world. And see, we already know what's up, man. So they put that shit out right here on these Georgia Guidestones, man. Okay? They tell you right there. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Okay? They carved that into the Georgia Guidestones right there. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. They want a world population of 500 million. They put it right there in front of your fucking face. And still these dumb motherfuckers don't see shit. But you're going to see now. Now you see what they're talking about. Okay? Hold on. Let's get a timeline on this. Okay, here it is right here. Guidestones were built and unveiled on March 22nd, 1980. So in 1980, they've been planning this shit. I mean, it had to have been long before 1980. But just to give you an idea of how long this has been in the works, okay? This is why they can come out with this shit in 1980, because, they know what's to come, man, because they the one creating this shit. Okay, these people create the world. And like I said, man, they part of the Illuminati. Illuminati is run and controlled by the Elohim, man. Okay? Same God of the Old Testament that threw the plagues on the Egyptians, wanted to punish humanity. You know, humanity went to war with the Tower of Babel. Okay, that God of the Old Testament. And see, they changed the Bible around to mean just one God. It's Elohim. Elohim means many gods. So it's these gods that we went to war with. And it's these same gods that's coming in, replacing humanity with robots. And are the ones, you know, these Illuminati come out and put this shit out here, but they're getting the orders from the Elohim. And they're telling you they want a world population of 500 million. They put it right there on the Georgia Guidestones, and they erected that back in 1980. That was over, what, 40 years ago, 45 years ago? So this shit has been in the works for a long, long time, people. And this is nothing new because they did it with the Great Flood. You know, them guys come down here, fuck with the tectonic plates, create a fucking flood, create a catastrophe. Probably set some nukes off underneath the ocean water, create tidal waves, a big ass flood. Okay? You know, these motherfuckers have been doing this shit for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. They've been wiping out populations of humanity. They get your genetics through like the Red Cross, and then they reclone a whole nother population when they need you. But right now they got the fucking robots, so they don't need you. So it's time for you motherfuckers to go. They just use you to a point, and once you get to the point to where they don't need you no more, they just get rid of your ass and just replace you with something better, man. They just gonna upgrade on you. The robot is an upgrade to you. All right. See right here, McDonald's is another one, has tested a fully automated restaurant in Fort Worth, Texas, which uses kiosks or an app for ordering and conveyor belts for food delivery, with minimal to no human interaction in the front of house, while human employees still prepare the food in the back. Okay, the goal of this and similar concepts is to speed up service for customers who order ahead and are focused on grab and go meals. All the while they cutting jobs and cutting more taxpayers off. You know, as more people make them, less people making money, which lowers the taxpayer pool, which means more welfare benefits, more Section 8 benefits, more Medicaid benefits, more Social Security, all that shit. Less and less money being made available for these services. So they incrementally slowing down while they're increasing the demand for these services. The money that's coming in slowly dwindling because there's no more taxpayer paying into the system. So you're going to have more people relying on the system and less money to finance it. So where do you think this is leading? Okay, it's called the Hunger Games, people. The Hunger Games. And like I said, I suggest you learn how to stare into the sun. Learn how to mix electrons. Learn how to generate that bioelectricity. Okay? You don't really need food, people. All right? Got to get into these spiritual tactics. You're going to have to become more spiritual than ever. All right? You know, shit I tell you, been telling you on my channels, man, go outside barefoot, stare in the sun. Hey, start doing it. Okay? And see, all this is great news for me because now y'all motherfuckers have no choice but to become spiritual. You have no choice but to elevate. It's either you elevate or you die. It's survival of the fittest. Here we go. Got Nestle's chocolates. Nestle is implementing automation in its operations through a recent large-scale digital core upgrade to enable AI and automation across its global business, including large automated distribution centers and factories. The company uses automation to improve efficiency in supply chains, procurement, and manufacturing, though this has also led to job cuts. While Nestle is also testing some consumer-facing automation like pizza vending machines, its primary focus has been on automating back-end processes. All right. So they're talking about job cuts. Let me see what they got on that, man. Inside Nestle Automated. Let's see what they got. Here we go with another bullshit ass sponsor.
Do you ever wonder how all that chocolate makes it to the supermarkets in time for Christmas? I'm James Walcott, and I got really curious how chocolate...
You don't see anybody in that warehouse, man. You don't see nobody working in that warehouse. You know what that means? Since there's no people working, there's no people getting paid, which means no money's going to these federal programs. You independent queen nitwits. Here we go.
that makes its way to the supermarkets every Christmas. So I came here to Nestle's distribution centre to find out how it works. Almost 120 lorries come here every day, and they drop off coffee, chocolate, Kit Kats, toffee crisp, you name it. If it's made by Nestle, it will come through here, and it will get sorted by machines who will then load it onto a monorail that runs right up and down the facility. Automated cranes, like this one coming in behind me now, then load all of the chocolate, storage, all of Nestle's goods into this big warehouse. It can hold up to 100,000 crates. And then after it's been sorted and stored, sometimes for months, it will then end up over here, where then lorries will then take it out to supermarkets up and down the country. You can see the entire process is done without people. Goods can come and leave, sometimes without ever touching human hands.
Without touching human hands. Okay, everything's done in that warehouse without people. Without touching human hands. So that means people ain't in these warehouses doing the goddamn jobs, it's the goddamn robot. Now, people ain't doing the jobs and people ain't making money. How are they going to pay into these welfare benefits, huh? Miss Independent, I don't need a man queen. So when you out here on these streets, because they cut your goddamn benefits, and when you go out here trying to look for a job, there ain't going to be one because the robot got the goddamn job. What the fuck are you going to do? Okay? You're going to be looking for niggas like me. But I see how you are. And I don't want you. To keep it real with you. I don't want shit to do with you. So don't come running to me. You're going to have to learn how to stand it. You're going to have to learn this mathematics. You're going to have to put that work in. You're going to have to pull your sleeves up. Okay? You want to be a man? Okay, well, you get your opportunity to be one. Okay? You women, you independent queens, you welfare queens, you want to learn how to lay down on that goddamn concrete. You're going to have to learn how to put up a house, how to pick up a hammer, a jackhammer, break up concrete, cut grass. You thought housework was hard. Shit. It's about to, you thought housework and raising some babies while the man go to job and pay for shit. You thought raising a couple kids was hard and washing some fucking dishes was hard. Okay, hey, now you gotta get out here and lay down that goddamn concrete and put up a goddamn house. Now you gotta get out in this field and farm food. Carry it by the bushel, load it up on trucks and distribute it. Okay, that means you're gonna have to, you wanna be a man? Well, this is your opportunity to be one. And we're going to see how you hold up. And see, us real niggas, we know what time it is. Y'all ain't built for that shit. So all that shit you talking about, you a strong, independent queen, you ain't built for this shit. You out in the wilderness, weather conditions, it's cold, wild ass animals out in the woods, got predators out there, and you ain't got no man, and you got to fend for yourself. Okay, good luck, lady. Good luck. Miss Independent Queen. See, when that reality hits your motherfucking ass, it's going to hit you like a ton of motherfucking bricks, man. All that shit you was talking about men, all that shit's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, man. It's all going to come back. Your chicken's going to come back to roost. Okay? Unless you learn how to get your shit together. All right? So, hey, this is just reality, ladies. I'm just telling you the real deal. See, this is what us men, this is what we have to face. And this is what we were trying to protect you from. But y'all insisted. So here you go. And here you go at Burger King. Okay, Burger King is not fully automated, but it's implementing automation in several ways, including AI-powered drive-thrus for order taking, digital kiosks for ordering, and modern back-of-house systems. The goal of these changes is to improve efficiency, accuracy, and customer experience while reducing staff burden. Okay, you're gonna start reducing that staff. Okay, here we go. Let's go more. For y'all brothers out there on the East Coast, okay, White Castle is implementing automation in its restaurants through a partnership with Miso Robotics, primarily using the Flippy 2 robot to handle the fry station. Get a look at that. There you go, Flippy 2 robot to handle the fry station. So that's another job getting cut. Let's go through this, man. Okay, the goal, hold on, let's take it back. Hold on here. Well, hold on, we're gonna move forward. Here's deploys robot fry cooks like Flippy 2 and is also experimenting with AI-powered drive-thrus and automated ordering and delivery systems. Okay, these technologies are intended to increase efficiency, ease labor shortages. Here you go, ease labor shortages. Just hire more people, motherfucker. All these people out here sleeping on the goddamn streets. You can't give them a job, man. Okay, hold on. These technologies are intended for and allow employees to focus on customer interaction rather than repetitive tasks. Here we go, this food. Let's get into that.
Diagnosed with Crohn's disease and struggling with your symptoms? It's not too soon to talk to your doctor about Entyvio.
Yep.
Welcome to White Castle. This is Brittany. How may I help you?
This robot named Flippy runs the fry station at a White Castle outside of Chicago. With its mechanical arm and using computer vision technology, Flippy can cook everything from French fries and onion rings to cheese sticks. White Castle said it plans to add 100 Flippies to its kitchens nationwide.
We used to need 2 people to operate that French fry area during peak hours, and now we are able to only have 1 person operating that area.
Would you like to try the mac and cheese bites today?
Another job cut. See, we don't need all these people now. Okay, we got the robot to do the work. So we can cut back on labor. Here we go.
All right, thank you. If the screen's correct, it is 827. Second window, please.
Fast food jobs are demanding, quick moving, and sometimes even dangerous. But not for robots.
When you look at the restaurant industry, it's a little bit late to the party in adopting automation and robotics in particular.
So far, the restaurants that are using them or trying them out say that this automation really only has to do with helping relieve boring tasks from workers' plates, help make their jobs easier, let them engage with the customers more. But there's a lot of reports out there kind of guesstimating how many jobs could be replaced by these robots, by automation.
Up to 82% of restaurant positions could to some extent be replaced by robots. Automation could save U.S. fast food restaurants over $12 billion in annual wages. And restaurants are also struggling to find workers. American restaurants are down more than 560,000 jobs, or about 4.6% of its workforce from their pre-pandemic levels. About a third of Americans worked in a restaurant as their first job.
And see all y'all welfare queens? See, y'all don't want to work those goddamn jobs. Y'all want to sit there and be leeches on the system. Y'all don't want to be a taxpayer. But y'all want all the tax benefits. Now, guess what? When nobody's working these jobs, nobody's getting a check. Nobody's paying into you getting your tax benefits. So what you going to do now, Miss Independent Queen? I don't need a man. What the fuck you going to do? Okay, because most niggas about had it with you motherfuckers. Okay? Most responsible brothers done had it with y'all, man. I mean, a lot of dudes don't even waste their time even talking to a woman because there's so much bullshit that come along with dealing with you motherfuckers. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to want to cooperate. Okay? These brothers just going to look at y'all side-eye. Look at y'all like y'all crazy and tell y'all to go fuck yourselves, man. Go fend for yourself, Miss Independent Queen. And this is what they set y'all up for. And y'all fell for it. Because y'all selfish, only thinking of yourselves. You ain't thinking about your own children. You just use them to get a check. You ain't thinking about the welfare of your children. You ain't thinking about the welfare of your community. You ain't thinking about your future. Hell, you ain't even thinking about the welfare of your own goddamn self. So how you going to think about the welfare of a man if you don't even give a shit about your own self? If you want to go out here and hold yourself, prostitute yourself, and not worry about it because, hey, if I get pregnant, I'm either going to stick the baby on this dude right here and make him believe it's his kid, or I'm just going to receive a free fucking check and not contribute nothing to society. Okay? You're a parasite. You're a blood sucker. And if you let something keep sucking blood out of you, you're eventually going to die. Now, what happens to the blood sucker when the blood sucker can no longer suck blood because what it sucked blood from died off? Now, that leech is going to eventually die because it has nothing else to leech on. It done sucked everything. Now there's nothing left. So now that leech is going to wither away. So now all you got is death circling around. You got the buzzards. You got the buzzards flying around, waiting for your corpse to drop, and then they're going to feed on you while you dead. They're going to feed on your remains. It's going to be a barren desert. Unless, of course, you grow a fucking brain and get some fucking technology. But you had that opportunity when you was living up on the system. You could have been learning something, going to school, making plans, doing this type of shit. But nope, you in the club, dropping it like it's hot, wasting all your money on some fake ass eyelashes. You didn't put nothing away. You didn't store anything for the future. You done made all these mouths to feed all these babies. And you done kicked the daddies off to the fucking curb. Because I can just get my food stamps and my welfare check. So, hey, man, they fed you rope and now you hung yourself. Congratulations. You played yourself. We shall continue. Here's the global reset, man.
Columbus-based White Castle is celebrating the grand opening of a new restaurant design, the Castle of Tomorrow. And it comes as the fast food chain celebrates its 40th anniversary this year. It features a brand new kitchen design, a dedicated mobile pickup area, and a refreshed dining area for customers.
Flippy at the Fryer will take care of you. Our Julia system will take care of you. And our amazing, amazing team members are excited to serve you hot and tasty sliders day after day here in Columbus.
The redesigned restaurant on Alum Creek Drive features a double drive-through and a streamlined food prep area for employees.
See, they employing that Flippy, like the lady told you. We got the Flippies going to take care of you. Got that fucking robot. So that's that robot doing jobs that normally would go to people who would collect a check, who would pay taxes into the system to get your fucking welfare benefits. Now these people are getting cut. So what you gonna do? You gonna go get a job now, lady? You gonna go out here and look for a job? It's gonna be kind of hard when the robots doing all the goddamn jobs, Miss Independent Queen. So what you gonna do? You done pissed the men off. They don't want you. Hold on, man. We gonna continue. And see, this shit's all over the world, man. All over. This is a global reset. Here we go.
So here we are at Takanawa Gateway Station. It's the newest station in Tokyo. And they have a store. It's called Touch and Go. And you can just walk in, grab whatever you want off the shelves, and walk out apparently. So we're going to try it out. We've never tried it before. Here we go. Coming in, there's some gates here that have opened up. And now, yeah, there's like Haribo's. So now we can choose whatever we want. These cookies look pretty good. There's some grab bag of things.
This is an automated store. They ain't got no staff, no cashier. More people not working. More people not working, which means less tax revenue getting paid into these social programs. Which is why you've seen this shit now. You know, government cuts, government shutdowns, and all this kind of shit. Okay? They just running the test on you. They just want to see how you motherfuckers respond, how y'all going to act. And they taking notes. Okay? They taking data. They putting all that in. And then they're going to come up with how to counteract any civil unrest, which is going to lead to, you know, you already know what it is. It's martial law, motherfucker. Dictatorship. Rounding motherfuckers up, throwing them into concentration camps. Y'all already see where this shit is going. It's going that way. And don't say you don't know, because I'm telling you. Right here. So I just told you. So now you know. All right, here we go.
Is it cute? Yeah, should we get the cookies? Yeah. So Nick's just grabbing those cookies. Some nuts. And bags. It's kind of a cool looking bag. Yeah. Well, they got beer for the station. Takanawa Gateway beer. What if I take this off and put it back on? Will it detect that I've done that? Ooh, I'm gonna get a melon pan.
No staff, no employees, man. All right. Okay, so now y'all see what's about to come. Now we got to get into how, you know, I don't want to be dwelling on these fucking problems, man. You know, we got solutions. You see, if you can sit here and take this as doom and gloom or anything crazy like that, you can sit here and look at this whole circumstance. Oh, this is doom and gloom. No, this is the opportunity to build a utopia, man. Okay? See, they counting on you being stupid, not knowing anything, because they dumbed you down. You don't learn anything in school. I mean, a lot of motherfuckers can't even read a fucking bus schedule. But if you look at what's really going on, you can build a utopia. Okay? You have the robots come in and serve you, man. And we turn this world into a big-ass amusement park. Okay? But you have to find a way to where you pull your resources together. See, people are so divided. They can't even pull resources together, go buy up some fucking land. Okay, work the land, grow food. See, you don't know how to do these things, man. You have no technology. Okay, you have no knowledge. You perish for lack of knowledge. Instead of going out here acting a fool, just go plant a fucking garden, people. Okay? You can grow more food in your backyard. You know, you can grow more food in a month just in your backyard, man. Take care of all your family, man. And just get you a little plastic bathtub, throw some dirt in. You know, take your dishwater, you know, you get the food in the dishwasher, you just pour that, water your crops with your dishwater, whatever the case is. You know, the food gets reconditioned into the soil and it acts like a fertilizer. You can grow all the food you want. Go to a plant store and just get all the seeds you need, man, for like watermelon, cucumbers, and whatnot. But see, like I said, we're going to take this thing to another level, man, because, you know, I know how to build this free energy device. I know how to generate all the electricity we need. So you're going to have free electricity, free water. All we got to do is acquire the goddamn land. And then once you get the land, you bring these robots in and automate and have it work for you. But you got to own wealth. Wealth is not money. Wealth is resources, land. That's the wealth. Okay? The motherfuckers in the bank, they just loaning out paper. In exchange, here's this paper. Okay? But if you don't pay back this paper with interest, then I get to seize your land, your resources, your assets, which is what the IMF does. So we got to get access to the resources. Real simple. People, free energy means you can run crypto miners. Cryptocurrency is going up every day, every day, every day. You take the money you make off of crypto and buy more miners. Keep buying miners, keep buying miners, keep buying miners. As long as you ain't paying that electric bill, you're making profit, and this whole mining operation just pays for itself, man. Then you take once you got like 1,000 crypto miners, you know, once you got like a good 1,000 crypto miners, man, you making an easy $100 grand a month. You take that money, put it in nonprofits, start buying up land. You know what I'm saying? You implement, free energy. You implement atmospheric water generation. You implement the robots, and you can live in a utopia, man. A worldwide global utopia. You have that opportunity, but these elites don't want you here. They don't want to compete with you. They're just trying to set up societies to where they collapse. You kill each other, and then after you're done killing each other, who's standing left, they just come in and wipe them out or enslave them. So, we're going to have to create a system to where we're going to work this thing together. That's why I'm going to set up this organization. And we're going to crypto mine and take the money, put it back in nonprofits and acquire land, man. Block by block, take this shit over, man. It's real fucking simple, man. But you got to have some technology. And see, like I said, man, while y'all niggas out here rapping and fucking wasting your money in clubs and dropping it like a hot and dealing with these bimbos, okay, we need to start working together, men, educating ourselves, men, because I got it right here, man. I got practically every answer, man. I got an answer to the food crisis. I got an answer to the water crisis. I got an answer to energy issues. I got an answer to your health. Okay, I got it down so good. You know what I'm saying? I don't even need to eat. Okay? We have to become super niggas. Invincible as super niggas, man. Okay? And we're going to start, like I said, I'm working on this free energy device. I almost got it up. It's almost ready to go, man. Like I said, I get this laboratory up and running, man. And it's going to be on, man. But all this shady, ratchety ass shit, loud mouth, can't be in my organization with that shit, man. You're going to have to become a divine human. Okay? And then we can beat these motherfuckers. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. And we're going to get to it. And God bless all you guys and goddesses, man. Peace.